Your
He
Louis
has a
told.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
He
that
signed that
is.
contract. She said, checkmate.
All right, bro. I'm gonna be real.
She's famous before him.
Man, it ain't about the fame.
What?
It's
That's
about
how
the
you
money.
know she don't follow sports.
Yeah,
at
she
all.
don't. Yeah.
Jason Tatum been famous since he was like 9.
And he's a $300 million man right now.
I remember seeing him at
Man.
he was at maybe LeBron James camp.
Yup.
Yeah.
The hardest kid there. He was like 10.
LeBron
I
ain't
think he was like 6 foot.
LeBron ain't saying something here.
He's like
At
6'11" now.
10.
Yeah, he's 6'11" now.
Yeah, LeBron ain't signed ain't autograph his basketball, man. He wild for that.
And then that nigga dunked on him in the
Yup.
Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
He said, "Damn, like
Remember that best guy you
payback?
ain't signed, nigga?
fact."
Exactly
Yeah,
what he said.
Ella May been, she definitely is probably more famous now, but she probably wasn't famous longer.
I'm gonna be
Probably.
real. It's that little British accent she got.
Yeah, and she sing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you get more famous than singers.
Yeah, she's
You
cute.
think? Because everybody don't watch sports, but everybody listen to music.
Everybody know Bobby Brown.
Snoop is the most famous like, rapper in
He
the
said
whole world.
Bobby
You think
Brown.
singers is more lit than athletes?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Coming
no.
coming from a male. Nope.
I think so.
My sports.
Yeah, I think so.
Singers are definitely more famous than athletes, bro.
I think so.
Because guys and girls know them. Only y'all really know.
Yeah,
So you gotta be in
exactly.
this person, this person.
Yeah, and come on. And then there's so many athletes. There's 100 singers.
And how many is getting
He
love?
said 100.
There's 100 singers, and 8 of them's getting all the streaming money. Ain't that what they always say on them ads?
How many?
5 singers are getting all the streaming money.
Man, Lionel Messi ain't behind.
Yeah,
Whenever
I see
you
what
talk
you
about
mean by
like
that.
athlete, like, cause whenever we bringing up like artists and entertainers, we're bringing up the top of the top. So let's bring up the top of the top athletes.
It doesn't matter. In
So
general,
you think Messi more famous than Michael Jackson?
in general, music artists
Yeah.
are more famous.
No,
than
he ain't,
No.
bro.
sports.
No.
No, he ain't.
He ain't more famous than Mike Jack.
Messi ain't died yet.
I don't
Damn,
even know
bro.
who that is. Who is Messi?
Try to come for Jackson.
I know who Michael Jackson is.
You don't know who
Who's
Messi is?
Messi? No.
See?
But that's
That's-
that's not a Messi problem. That's the MJ problem.
No, but
No,
I'm
we're trying to
like,
say we're saying
no,
in
when
regards
you're a
to fame.
superstar, you don't have a choice
Yeah.
but to know some. Like I know who LeBron is. I know who Kobe is. I know who Kawhi. Like I know certain
Mhm.
people.
So
I don't
over,
know who Messi is.
where Messi's from? Any from like Spain or something?
I would say,
So
He's from Europe somewhere.
yeah, somewhere in Europe. Yeah, we can ballpark it.
He don't know the baby. He could probably give a. He probably know Drake, but he could probably give a fuck about Kendrick.
I mean, that's
But
fine.
you talking about Messi?
Regardless of the
Yeah,
matter.
Messi.
I would say Messi. Fuck, yeah. He probably don't know any rapper.
Yeah, because it's like
But my
Regardless
thing is,
of the matter, though.
we're not trying to.
artists
But
be
my thing is, when it
globally
comes to
famous.
when it comes to like the most famous you could be, I think it's the
Yeah.
singer, bro.
like
Yeah.
more people
'Cause,
would
like,
know Bruno
yeah,
Mars than Messi.
Bruno Mars than Messi.
Yeah,
I can.
I would say
Singers,
I
that.
can say
songs
that.
be
In
on
America,
movies and
we,
stuff.
In
we,
America.
we're being super American.
But that's
whenever
all
we-
around the world.
No,
I'm talking around
singers
the world.
globally are
Yeah.
more famous than any athletes. Are you serious right now?
Whoa.
Messing is up there. I'm not taking that
Are
from
you
you.
serious?
You
right
know
now?
who Ronaldo is?
No.
Oh my god.
You don't know who Ronaldo is?
I don't
Cristiano Ronaldo?
Think so. Oh yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
but-
literally just told
See,
somebody
he's more
about
to
how
me. He's
famous.
more famous than Messi.
All right,
He's
that's
Yeah.
cool.
he's like the biggest sports
Person,
dude in the
yeah,
world
yeah,
right now.
All right,
yeah.
that's cool. You could do it right now.
I would say Ronaldo, but I would say still, bro, like a Lady
He's the soccer
Gaga
dude,
or like a
right?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
bro.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift,
It's
bro.
not arguable. It's not
Everybody
even
knows.
Bro, listen.
arguable.
Y'all said it's
Singers
not
are far
arguable.
more famous than sports players.
Bro,
But
my
like,
auntie
it's
know
not even
Taylor Swift.
arguable.
My auntie don't know no Ronaldo, bro.
Taylor Swift, what she did for the NFL was crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
She literally drove the numbers
gotta
up.
think
All right,
Yeah.
movies,
all right. So, Pete, you said
commercials,
what she did for the
singers.
NFL.
Yeah.
What's the NFL? It's
Not
football,
for
right?
long.
It- it's American football.
Absolutely.
What's bigger than American football? Global
of
football, soccer,
yeah, soccer.
The real football, bruh. Whenever it comes to the globe in soccer and football, bro, it don't get no bigger than that. Whenever it comes to athletes,
Music? Are you right now?
why do you use that type of language on the podcast?
Just
You gonna get us
bleep.
We won't
canceled
bleep
off
that,
of
we won't bleep
fucking
Just bleep it.
YouTube,
Yeah, you can
calling
say
us
Idiot.
crazy.
what? I mean, I mean, what are we discussing here? What are we discussing?
The fact that you really believe that anything in sports is bigger than
Michael
music
Jackson
globally,
made people fall out. What the dude
Look
say?
at Prince.
They fell out. They had to bite Michael Jackson. They had to back Michael Jackson out.
Literally.
Everybody fell out.
the world communicates through music. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
If, like
you
gotta,
think
you gotta
You
be a
are like
sport
you have
fan.
an arguing fact where like I could say athletes and musicians are probably more famous than politicians. You know what I mean? Like they're at a high level, but when it comes to
But they're not
music,
even neck
music
and neck.
is so like everyone listens to music, bro.
Everybody watches sports as well.
No, they don't, bro. You're coming from a male again, bro. Here you go being a male, bro.
Right.
We have to. There has to be a stat somewhere because I just can't believe you're even. I can't believe we're even talking about this right now.
Bro, have you ever seen a soccer championship? Bruh, have
Yeah,
you ever
it's flooded.
seen a
It's
Penn State game, a home game?
No, we're
It's
not.
100,000 people.
We're not saying it's not popping.
No, I'm saying these people are like, if we're comparing megastar to megastar, a sports megastar is bigger than.
Hold on. I got one. Well, go ahead. Finish your statement. I want you to finish.
I
your statement.
think they're bigger than music megastar.
All right,
They're
Taylor
not.
Swift. Taylor
Sorry.
Swift sold out Acrisure Stadium 2 days in a row. There was a bar. Bars made more money in that 2 days Taylor Swift was here than they made the whole rest of the year.
The whole
As-
rest of the season when the sports people were around.
As Cleveland, how much a megastar could do for your economy. As Cleveland. And how many days in a row did LeBron James is selling out the Quicken Loans Arena whenever he was in Cleveland?
Cleveland's arena, that little arena.
She's
Taylor
the-
Swift sold that out.
The point
Taylor Swift
is-
sold that out in 5 seconds.
Taylor Swift sold every stadium.
That's
out.
what I'm saying.
You
The
think
point is,
LeBron
in
ain't selling out every
general-
stadium?
No,
No.
I went to
Oh
a
my
bro.
God.
Bro, I went to a Laker game, bro.
All
So
right.
you're telling me you think
It was
that
sold out. It was sold out though. I just
You think
Yeah, it was sold
It
out.
But
was
you
sold
think
out.
LeBron
Bro, look-
James could go on a world tour, like on some just an appearance, and do bigger numbers than an artist, like a music artist?
Well,
No, not he can't.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
can't
He
do
he
bigger
can do
numbers.
numbers. It was like,
Yeah, he'll do numbers
Anything
in
he
most.
touch-
No, he
Turn
said
to gold.
megastar versus
Yeah,
megastar.
he's not doing more numbers than Taylor.
But he's
Swift.
not going on stage singing and stuff. But if you told the whole world LeBron is going on a retirement tour, he's going to stop in China, he's going to stop in Europe. He's going
No, he's going to do
Everything-
numbers. Is he going to do bigger numbers than a megastar music artist? No, he is not.
How did
but how do you compare the numbers of a megastar? He would have to like every single game that he played in China would be sold out. So that 100,000 people that Taylor Swift brought one night,
no?
he would be
she'll-
bringing that every.
Bro, she'll bring him again the next night. I just
I
said
know,
that.
I know
That's
she'll
he
bring.
brought for the season.
But peep though, she'll bring him again for the next night. But you got 2 nights of performing. That's 200,000 people. The whole season, LeBron comes, it's going to be 30,000 people this night, 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, and it's going to sell out every single night. And he's going to sell merch, and he's going to sell shoes, the whole 9 yards, bro.
You think
we
artists
just
ain't
gotta
selling
find
merch?
a stat.
This is a Dreamville hoodie. Artists sell merch too. It ain't just
J.
Bron.
Cole's a hooper. He hooped for Africa. You crazy?
No, I'm
Let's
saying.
stop playing.
Well, hold on, but
Let's really stop
Taylor.
playing.
But look what
I'm
Taylor
using it in
Swift
regards to
did,
artists.
even with her own album. She released the same album again,
Yeah.
Still
Re-
on platinum.
and still like
Same.
I hate
same
to say
words.
it.
LeBron been
Still
dropping
on
the
platinum.
same stats.
Nah.
It's
doing
not
the same
possible
thing.
for any. It's not possible for
Bro,
any
he's
sports
trolling.
Yeah, he's
superstar.
definitely
Yeah, he
trolling.
is.
He's
That's why I'm like, there's no
No.
way.
But he got a
'cause I
point,
know
though,
you're
a
not-
little bit.
I know
Y'all
you're
know.
smart. Like I know
No,
you're a smart human.
You're really trying to compare Michael Jackson and all these people to like a lower level athlete is still way like the baby would, but he would die to be an athlete over being a rapper or being a musician. Half the musicians would want to just get that.
I don't think Taylor Swift is trading in her
Oh, you're
microphone for a
serious? You are
basketball.
serious?
But you think
But we're
Taylor
bringing-
Swift will
yes.
give up her clout to become Caitlin Clark?
It's not
No.
possible.
No. I
No.
wouldn't say
It's-
that.
it's
I wouldn't
literally
say
not
that.
possible.
Well, then you're saying that the baby or an artist would want to give up what they got as an artist to be an athlete,
But-
not if you're
You know,
Big.
like,
But you
what?
compared.
the
Taylor,
biggest
you
musician
compared-
to the biggest female basketball player.
Come on, bro. Let's talk about the biggest women's basketball ain't even big
Yeah.
in general.
Now look, we can say the biggest sports player in the world versus the biggest artist in the world. They're not. It's not going to compare.
All right, I'm about to ask you a question
It's
right
just
now.
not
Who's the biggest artist in the world?
ever.
Who's the biggest artist?
Probably somebody who's not even alive.
Taylor
If
Swift.
you don't know who the biggest artist is, then how did you go and say the argument?
She
Because
mean
you would
like-
know it.
No, we can Google it. There's a lot of big artists, but I don't know their numbers off heart. But we can Google that. I can guarantee you
Mike-
the largest artist in the world versus the largest sport. I can't. I'm not even participating.
Who that
in this
Gundam
anymore.
style dude?
Look-
That-
look up-
I'm not
I heard he do
participating in
numbers.
this
That Gundam
conversation
style.
anymore. This is stupid.
I heard he be
Look
having
up-
platinum.
Well, look up Taylor Swift, and then look up Lionel
No,
Messi.
no, look up. We can
What,
say
net
who.
worths?
We can say who is
No,
the
I
I
biggest
said, we can look
artist
up
in the
net worths.
world.
Taylor Swift got him.
Yeah,
No,
come on.
I'm
like,
saying
I'm
what is
talking about-
happening here?
Lionel Messi they just now dropped it.
Don't piss me off.
LeBron is 1.49. Jordan is 3 billion. There's a
Is you
couple
looking
soccer
it up?
players.
You can have, but listen,
You looking at it?
listen. You can also have a large
I'm about to look it up.
net worth.
I'm not talking about net worth. I'm saying who is fucking.
The biggest influence.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
Like,
did
are
you
you
hear?
serious?
Did you hear
Sports
like
over music?
I
They
heard?
use music
I heard
to-
them break
No.
down like what a net worth really means. Sometimes some of the assets that you have, your net worth, if you had to resell them, they wouldn't even really sell for that.
But
Like
networking-
Jay-Z could have a painting that's worth $1 million, but if he go bankrupt and he needs to sell the painting, someone can buy that $1 million painting and be like, I'll give you 200,000. So now that painting went for 200,000, that lowers his $1 million net worth of that painting down to
But-
200.
But
Screw
we're
the
not arguing
network,
network
the
though. We're arguing
influence.
influence.
There-
Yeah.
It's. I cannot believe we're like. Can we please move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I mean,
We
it's-
can move on, but I'm just letting you know that you're looking at it from an American standpoint. Whenever
No,
you
I'm
go,
not. I just said the world. globally.
everybody-
in
Cristiano-
the
Ain't nobody
world,
worried about
in the
America.
world,
what he's trying to
soccer's
say is,
bigger.
what he's trying to say
Soccer
is
is
people
way
in Saudi,
bigger than.
people in Saudi Arabia don't care
American
about.
musicians make more money and have more
No, they don't.
influence in
No, they don't.
others.
No,
Are
no,
you
no. But you got to hold on.
in
because
other
they don't.
countries?
You gotta listen. You
No,
gotta
they
listen.
don't.
Messing did just sign a real big contract.
So
The
Messi
average,
or-
the average American, I get what you mean. The average American does have more money than probably the average person in another country. But a real rich person
I'm
in
not
another
talking
country got a lot
about
of
money. I'm not talking. I didn't say anything about money. I said influence. Worldly influence, music takes the cake over everything. I really want somebody with an iPhone around here
I
to
did.
look it up right now because we gotta did this.
But
We
I
have
just,
to.
I just
by
don't
the
see.
net worth alone,
This
Taylor
is the
Swift.
dumbest conversation I've ever
I
had.
just don't
ever.
see Taylor. What I'm
I
trying to
don't
tell
know,
you
it's
is the
dumb.
way he's looking at it is
Cuz,
what he's
what?
trying to say to you is everybody ain't American. What he's trying to say is kids in Saudi Arabia, their way out
I
is not
understand.
trying to be a singer. Their way out is trying to be a soccer player.
I
So
get
they
that.
look up to Ronaldo.
I understand exactly
And
what he's saying.
people in Western Africa, their way out ain't to be Taylor Swift. Their way out is to be Ronaldo. So he's saying based off all of that, all of those
understand
accumulation
exactly
of
what
people,
he's saying.
that adds towards the northern and European and the
Yeah.
European and
I want
Asian.
y'all to realize I'm not lost at all. I understand exactly what's being said here. Music versus sports in the world when it comes to fame and the influence. Sports is not like what you said earlier. The biggest sports person versus the biggest musician. That's
It
what
does.
I'm saying.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how
I'm just listen. Listen. We had a whole
people
listen,
use
for 10
music
minutes-
artists for their clout. Like they literally use music artists' influence. Like everybody
Yeah.
uses the influence of music. That's why I'm like, how are we even talking about this?
Yeah, but what
I'm
I'm trying to
confused.
tell
know
you is
what
the reason-
generate bread.
Yeah, what I'm trying to tell
we
you.
know
is-
it got influence for
But
real.
we're not
Soccer-
talking about. We literally said we're not talking about money. We're talking about influence.
But influence brings them what?
Yeah.
It brings them money.
Money.
And
Yeah.
whenever you're talking about soccer generate way more money than music.
But
soccer
as
and
individuals, you said as individuals, like the biggest. First of all, the reason why it's not even possible is because a sports person's career can't compete with music.
Oh,
People
yeah,
be
yeah.
dead for 30, 40, 50 years, and their music is still making way more money.
or when they
than somebody.
yeah, like the Asleys.
That's
they
what I'm
just did
saying.
it-
Like,
they
let's
just did a
really
tour,
think about the
Asleys.
bigger picture. I don't care how much Cristiano, like, he's the biggest sports person in the world, and there are artists that are dead that are still making more money than him off their music.
I wouldn't say
It's
that.
timeless.
I wouldn't
know.
say
You
that.
don't have to say it. It's a
I
fact.
don't
No, it's not a fact.
I
They're,
don't-
they're not making more money
I don't
than
know.
they're not making more money
listen.
than
A
him right
stretch
now.
from the start of their career until infinite, like until what's still going on. How?
You mean their music in general makes money, or that individual artist? Because a lot of individual
No, the
artists
like-
don't get as much profit share as an athlete.
I can't be talking about the individual person because I said
You're
if it's
talking
somebody
about
who's
their
dead.
music. So you're saying someone who's
Like,
dead.
we're just still talking about the influence, the stretch of the career. Like, it's not comparable because sports people can only play sports for a certain amount of years.
But I mean, but still to this day, you got to look.
Michael Jordan
When
ain't
did Babe
played in
Ruth
a
start?
while.
Babe Ruth stop playing baseball in what, the 1920s?
Still influential.
We still talk about
Yeah,
Babe Ruth. Like,
this
people
is the
still
thing.
talk
I'm not
about
saying
Babe
there
Ruth.
aren't any sports people that are influenced. I'm not saying that. Like, we know that that's the whole reason we're having a convo. I'm just saying music trumps sports. That's it.
Yeah, I
As
get
far
your
as
point.
the
I get
fan-
your point on that.
Yeah, that's it.
I get your point on that.
I can see it. To be honest, I just didn't agree with like the wording that you was using. Like, this is the dumbest conversation, because it's not really dumb. It's really like a back and forth.
I'm
'Cause you could go
just in my
Yeah.
debating
I
bag
just
because
got what
it's
he meant
because
by
it trumps so crazy. That's why I said dumb.
Oh, I mean, don't trump.
I
that
got
much.
what he meant by.
Dude,
I get what he
It
meant
really
by in
don't.
regards.
it's not an opinionated thing.
I know it's not. No, it is an opinionated thing, but it's not. It's not so far off than what you're saying, because whenever you look at the world as a whole,
Yeah, like
they're not
kids.
looking at America. Like, Drake's
Dude,
not the
I've
biggest
said
artist.
this will be the 10th
He's
time that
not.
I said I was never considering just America. Since we started the conversation, I'm talking about the globe, the
But
entire
you
Earth.
got to understand that there's no way. Do you really think there's kids in
No, when I say overall, I'm not specifically talking about China. I'm not specifically talking about America. I'm not specifically talking about Saudi Arabia. When I say the world, that's exactly what I mean. I'm saying the general influence over the entire world.
But yeah, when
I'm
you
not
make it
talking
when you
about
make
one
an
specific
average,
place.
but when you make an average, you got to include everything.
That's what I said. When I say in general, that means everything's included.
Yeah, so there's a lot of population. This is what I'm telling. This is what I'm saying. I agree with you. I think music is bigger. But the reason why he had an arguing factor is because he's trying to say there's kids in South Africa, there's kids in Middle Eastern countries that they do not want to become a musician.
I
They
get
want to
that.
become a soccer player.
And vice
So-
versa. There's people generally speaking.
Yeah.
But and vice versa. There's people who don't want to do music. There's people who don't want to do sports. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm not discluding. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm just saying why he said this is why he was just saying it wasn't a dumb convo, because he's saying there is a point, because
No
there's a lot of
combo is
kids.
dumb. I was in my debater bag.
Yeah, but
If I feel like I'm on a winning team, the losing team is dumb. That's just what it's gonna be.
yeah, you
Well,
remember
look,
Hey,
Like
the
you.
from
UK
the
do
city.
drill
That's-
music
Like
now.
you.
That's the city, that's the city coming out. She's from the city.
Oh,
See,
for
Hey,
sure.
see,
see, in
definitely.
the valley, whenever we think we're right,
Down
we
in
say this.
the valley where the
I'm
girls
not sure
get
you know
naked.
it all. Or we say, hey, there might be another way to look at it. That's what we say in the valley, but in
Hey.
the city, people say that's dumb.
Hey,
You're
Craig,
stupid. I get it.
I didn't say you
how,
stupid.
how many people did Boston have down in their streets for the parade?
A lot. The whole city.
How much did Philly have for their parade?
Go Birds.
Whenever the fandom really come out about sports, whenever it's championship time and it's playoff time,
We pulled a
it-
stat out and we're still arguing.
it really go
Go ahead and
crazy.
get your rocks off.
All
my
right,
G.
go Birds.
Nah.
Get
Go
your
Birds.
rocks off, my guy.
Alexa, play new music.
It's the Free Lunch Podcast with me and my comrades, giving you what you need every day, no off days. We talking real ish and current events. It's the Free Lunch Podcast with me and my comrades, giving you what you need every day, no off days. We talking real ish and current events.
Brought to you by